All right. Hey guys, I'm going to do a quick video here for those of you that are confused on the Mini Z stuff. Don't feel bad because when we first tried this a few years ago, we were all very confused about it as well. It's the 128 scale, the micro scale world it's a different animal. It's all different with similar aspects to what we have always done, but the the Mini Z specifically is a different beast. So to start out, this is what we recommend um, everybody get, which is the rear wheel drive Mini Z, the Ready set. Okay, they're just a little under 200 bucks. Um, they're brushed motor. They come with a radio. It's basically you pull it out, pop in some batteries, and go more or less. Um, these uh these actually run really well. Depending on how you set them up, you can set them up a little bit different. And also just to take note, um, there are some slight variations on these box stock cars. So this is also a rear wheel drive ready set, but it's an LM, a Le Mans style body. Now the Le Mans style bodies are a little wider in terms of the wheelbase, and the rear pod is also pulled back a bit. So just the car in general has a longer wheelbase. I believe these are 102 millimeters on the wheelbase, whereas something like this one, like the Porsche car with kind of the standard Mini Z ready set, this one's going to be 98 millimeters most likely. Some of them are 94, but most of them are 98. The 98 is probably the better one to go with, I would assume. It's got a good balance between being easiest to drive and also handling the corners well. This is this is what I have. This is my box stock. Not this exact body, but this is the one I'm gonna run. I also have an Evo that I'll be running, so I will show you guys the Evo real quick. Oh my gosh, if I can type. Jeez, performance issues. Okay, so there are there's a few different Evos. Okay, um, what you'll see now, the MR04's the newest one. The Evos also, some of them will come with a gyro. Do not get the one with the gyro. Okay, it's more expensive, and if I remember right, it's really meant for drifting, from what I understand. So we're not going to be drifting. We're going to be racing. So what you want is, if you're going to get an Evo, is going to be something like what we have here. Now this is the MR04 Evo 2, the Mini Z, and this one has the NMM2 chassis style, and kind of like what I said earlier with the box stocks, there are there's slight variations with the chassis. I have this one. This is the NMM2. It's narrow, but that's what it means. It's the narrow MM mount or motor pod. That's the style of motor pod it has. But this is a 98 millimeter chassis, and this one had I actually have the MR03 version of this, the previous version, and it comes with a 4100 kV motor. Now on a smaller track, um, I and some of the other guys that ran Evos last time we did this might be able to chime in here too, but I personally think the 4100 is really good on smaller tracks. Our track is a smallish track, and I think the 4100 kV is going to be great. Now, these are a lot more tunable than you would think, but they also have a 5600 kV variant. Where'd it go? And an 8500 kV variant. Now, there is a WMM2 as well, the NMM2, and then there's the WMM2. The W is the wide. It's a little bit wider, not on the wheelbase. I don't think, but just wheel to wheel, right? The stance. I believe it's let's look down here at the specs. We'll see. It might tell us. Of course it doesn't, and that's the thing with the mini Z's. It's not always super easy to kind of figure out, but if I remember right, the axle is a bit wider front and rear on the W. Someone might be able to correct me. What does it say? I may be wrong, but if I remember right, that was the big difference. Now, even with the NMM2s, they do come with a set of wide uh, arms and top plate, so you can make it wider. Um, from what from what I've noticed is the wider you go, the easier it is to drive. So I would say swap your front end to the wide no matter what you get. Even on the box stocks. The box stocks come with like pretty much the same little parts cluster as these. And you can swap out to the wide plate and arms, and it'll make it easier to drive. Um, let's see here. Now, I think that's pretty much. Oh yeah, that's right. So with the Evos, they they do not come with anything other than like the chassis and the spare parts bags, right? This parts bag. That's all the Evo comes with. It does not come with a body. It does not come with wheels. It does not come with tires. It does not come with a radio. So what you need for the Evos to get them going is quite a bit more substantial than the box stock. Now, I personally, going back, if I could do it all over again, I would not have gotten an Evo, and I'll show you why. So, just the receiver for one of these Evo chassis. Let's look at that. Uh, and I'm running a Noble radio now. I'm one of the cool kids, but just the receiver, the cheapest you can get for the Noble is the Kyosho branded one, and it's $35. And then if you get the Fly Sky branded one, it's $51. That's just the receiver and your chassis. So already we're up to, we'll just call it 250 roundabout. You also need a body because it does not come with a body. So let's look at bodies. So this one right here, that's the poor style body. That's the one I'm running. You can also get the McLaren. We'll just say here the bodies are going to run anywhere between $25 and $30. Um, and for the box stock and the Evo or the Pro Mod class is what we're going to call it. You have to run a hard body. The Lexan bodies give too much of an advantage. But I mean, you're looking at $30 for a body, so you're at 280. Uh, there are some um, not off-brand but third-party bodies. These Jomarima bodies. These are 33, so they're about the same price. But this is a really popular body. A lot of us ran this body. I'm running this body on my Evo. So you can also get one of these, and they will fit that 98 millimeter wheelbase is what they're made for. Um, Now, past that, we've got a receiver, we've got a body, we've got the chassis. Now we need wheels, just wheels. So let's have a look. Some of the Kyosho bodies do come with wheels, but not all of them. So what I recommend, just to save yourself a headache, just spend the 18 bucks and get a full set of wheels, right? And when I say a full set, I mean this that I'm looking at right now. So this has both front and rear tires, or excuse me, rear wheels. The front is an 8.5 millimeter, the rear is an 11 millimeter, and that's the width of them, not the diameter. So you'll get fronts and rears of various offsets. You'll get, I think, 2 or 3 different offsets. Okay, there it goes. It says right here. You've got a For the front, you've got a 0, a +1, a +1.5, a +2, and a +2.5. For the rear, you've got a -1, a 0, +1, 2, and 3. I think currently on my Evo, I'm running a wide front end, and I think +2 front and rear. I'm not entirely certain, but I know my Evo is pretty darn easy to drive. But this is what I recommend you get for your wheels. Just spend the $18, get it. You're already you're already gonna be about 300 bucks deep with an Evo. Um, and next, finally, you need tires, right? So let's look up Mini Z tires, and this is where it gets continually weird. So no matter what, 8.5-ish is a front tire. 8.5 millimeters is going to be a front tire. 11 millimeters is going to be for your rear tire. They also make this tire tape. It's basically double-sided tape that supposedly makes your tires stay on good. I just bought some. I haven't tried it yet. I'll let you guys know if it's worth your money. But last time we did this, I never used it, and it was fine. I didn't have any issues. A couple of the guys did have some issues though, so I don't know what they were doing different or what I was doing different, but your mileage may vary with whether or not the tires stay on. Now, there are in general 2 different types of tires. You have a high grip or a slick, right? The slick tires typically are called the high grip tires, and then you have the radial tires. So a lot of us, what we were running is a radial in the rear and a slick up front. I personally was running a radial front and rear. Um, that just was what worked for me. And the softness, there are 3 or 4 different softness that you can get. And I'm just going to tell you guys, stick with the Mini Z, the Kyosho brand tires. Okay, just get the Kyosho brand tires. I've tried the Next Geckos. They're okay. I personally don't think they're as good as the Kyosho tires. So stick with the Kyoshos. So let's look at a rear. So this is a Kyosho 11 millimeter wide radial, and these are for the rear. You'll hear people say degrees because on the packaging, I don't know if it shows it here. Yeah, on the packaging, it has a little degree symbol up here next to the shore value. That it's not degrees, it's shore. So they offer these in 4 different hardnesses. You've got your 10 shore, 20 shore, 30 shore, and 40 shore. 10 shore being the softness, and then it goes up to 40 shore. Um, this just in general, um, you want a softer rear than you do up front. So I'd usually, even right now, I'm running a 20 shore on the rear, and then on the front, here's a front radial, an 8.5 millimeter, so that's a front. I'm running a 30 shore radial up front. For me, the car really comes alive whenever I'm running scrubbed radials. So radials up front, specifically scrubbed up front, where they've basically been worn a bit. They're almost, you could kind of think of it as a ghost tread on a clay tire. But this seems to be what really works well for me. Now, some people like a 40 shore up front, a 20 shore up front. You kind of just have to play with it, but 30 shore in the front, 20 shore in the rear is a really good place to start on these foam style tracks that we have. Now, let's look at the quote unquote high grip tires real quick. Now, these, it's the same story, it's just these are slick. Um, I, I don't know how I feel about these yet. Um, some of the guys I remember really liked them. I was pretty lukewarm on them, but try them, right? If you could try a 30 shore high grip or slick up front with your 20 shore radial in the rear, and that may work great for you. But this is the slick tire, the high grip tire is the slick tire that Kyosho makes. So that's your tires. You'll just for a starting set of tires, front and rear, you're looking at about another 20 bucks. So for an Evo car, minimum, you're looking at about $320. Now, if I could go back and do it again, I would not do that. I'll show you what I would do instead. There are a lot of other companies. Hello, dear. My wife just said hi. There are a lot of other companies that are doing these 128 scale chassis besides Kyosho. Uh, what I would have done, hindsight being 2020, is I would have bought a GL. Specifically, they make a car called the GLR. This is what I would have gotten in lieu of the Evo. I think the Evo is overpriced for what it is. So if you're gonna go the Evo route, I would suggest looking at one of these. The only difference between the Evo and one of these, you can get the rear wheel drive without the receiver. So you can purchase this. Get, I know. Get yourself a receiver and get the same thing, body, wheels, tires, all that for about the same price as an Evo, but with a lot more flexibility and much better performance. Now, GLR makes a, or excuse me, GL Racing makes a lot of cars. The GLR is the one to start with. Okay, their other cars are, from what I understand, extremely twitchy. They are unhinged, apparently. But this one, everything I've heard and read about this chassis is it's very easy to drive, and you can get into this for about the same, maybe even less than a Evo, and you can still run the cool like Kyosho bodies, the hard bodies. You can run hard bodies on this chassis as well, but you get the benefit of a lot more flexibility. Now, the newer Evos, the MR04, they do have censored motors. This one, stock, I guess if you want to call it stock, does not come with a censored ESC. It's a sensorless. So it's I don't think it's that big of a deal. I have the MR03 Evo. It's a sensorless. It seems fine to me, but I might be missing out. I don't really know. But this is what I would get instead of an Evo. That's just my opinion. Now, I'm going to come back to this here in just a bit regarding the classes that we're running. But before we get too far into that, I want to show you guys what transponder you need. Okay, so we were going to run the lap monitor transponders. We are not running these anymore, so do not buy one of these lap monitor transponders. I have purchased an Easy Lap system, which is this guy. So this is what we're going to be using for a timing system. Now, this is the transponder you want. Okay, they come in a few different flavors, but this one is, from what I gather, the one to kind of go with. They range anywhere between $20 and $25, so they're cheap. They're not that expensive at all. And some of them will just plug right in, and then some of them will you can like your box stocks, I believe. You might need to rewire a little bit, but they're uh, they're really they're not that complicated. They come with a little extension, And all you do is you just pop your extension on here, and then you use the appropriate connector. You slip the little DuPont wires into the appropriate connector, and you're good to go. They're not that expensive, and the benefit of these over the lap monitors is we don't have to worry about tracking who has what ID, right? Kyosho, it's all totally random, right? And they're all unique. So we don't have to worry about that here. So this is the transponder you want. So I'm gonna leave links to all this stuff when I post this video. So this is the transponder you want to buy. So just to recap real quick, if you're starting out, right, and you're really confused, what you want to get is this. You'll get one of these, and you'll get one of these, right? Doesn't have to be the Porsche body. It can be, basically any of them, right? Any of these that are rear wheel drive. I think this one's sick. I should have bought it, but I didn't. Um, but like any of the rear wheel drive ready set box stock mini Z's. Now, again, these Le Mans cars, you can run them box stock with us if you want. They're slightly different. They're a little bit wider, from what I understand. They're a little bit easier to drive. I cannot confirm nor deny that. But what I can tell you is these standard 98 millimeter cars like this one and this one and this one and yep, that one, the vet, is also a 98 mil. There's another vet. All those, like, those are gonna be just fine. Um, we can help you get them tuned the way they need to be tuned. So you're gonna need that, the transponder, and batteries and a charger. Okay, so we are, for right now, going to stick with the nickel metal hydride AAA batteries. Okay, and what that is going to be, just so everybody knows, is this style battery. It does not have to be the Kyosho Speedhouse batteries, but it has to be a AAA nickel metal hydride battery. Okay, there are some other like lithium polymer 1.5 volt funky things out there. Um, and Paul and I were talking about this today, and on my drive home, I remembered why we didn't run them. It's because I, it doesn't sound like it would be a lot, right? An extra 1.2 volts, right, from 4.8 to 6 volts total, but it makes a huge difference, right? Remember, in terms of kV on your motor. Like if you're running, say, a 4100 kV motor, that's like an extra 5,000 RPM you can get out of that car with those lithium polymer batteries, even if they are the 1.5 volt per cell batteries. So nickel metal hydride for box stock, and if you're going to run an Evo car, and by Evo I mean just that, the Kyosho Evo, it's got to be the nickel metal hydrides. Now, if you want to purchase something like, that's not what I wanted to go to. Come on. There we go. If you want to purchase something like this, the team kit, right? The RC28 team kit that Team Associated just released, or you want to get something like this, the GLR, you can do that and you can run it with the Evo slash Pro Mod. You have to set it up as a, or not a Pro Mod, excuse me, Pro Stock. You have to set these up as a Pro Stock car, okay? Meaning you're limited to 2500 kV blinky mode on your motor, which honestly is still a ton of juice. I mean, it's still gonna haul ass, guys. So, um, if this is what you would what something like this, or again something like the GLR is what you would run instead of the Evo. And again, personally, if I could go back in time, this is what I would have done. You're going to be limited to 2500 kV motors. Now, for the battery, yes, you can run a lithium polymer battery, but again, only a 2500 kV motor with these types of chassis. So, light lithium polymer, 2500 kV for these fancy schmancy micro chassis. Uh, if you're running an Evo, you have to run the nickel metal hydride, and you, you're not limited to motor is the only thing, right? So if you want to run the 5600 kV motor in your Evo with the nickel metal hydride batteries, you can. The these cars like the GLR and the RC28 with a 2500 kV motor, you're going to be about on the same pace as the Evo cars. And again, has to be a hard body, um, which, from what I understand, on the RC28, you can fit a hard body to it. I think they include the mount points and everything for it, but they just don't have a picture in it. But the GLR, for certain, I know for a fact you can run a hard body on this. Now, past the mini Z's, we have decided we are going to run the Losi Micro B and Micro T's. So that is going to be, whoops, the micro, not the mini, the micro. It has to be the micro, all right? So we've got this. I have one of these. The, I'm going to be running one of these as well. The 124 scale, and it's going to be a box stock class. No brushless. You got to use the brushed motor that's in it. Um, Depending on things, I mean, we might get a mod class going depending on turnout and stuff for these and what everybody wants to do. But for now, we're gonna start with just box stock micro Bs, and they don't even sell a kit version of this yet, from what I understand. So if you're gonna get one, you got to get the RTR, and that's we're gonna run it just like it is out of the box. And this one, I haven't even opened mine yet, but I think it comes with a battery and like the whole bit. Yeah, yeah, it does. It comes with a battery and a charger and like everything you need. I mean, you could buy one of these and get yourself a transponder, and we're still going to use that Kyosho Easy Lap transponder in these. Um, but you could get these in one of these in a transponder. I mean, 150, 160 bucks, and like you're good. You don't need anything else beyond that. You can throw this thing on the track and just go, um, right out of the box, which is kind of cool. Same with the mini T, or excuse me, the micro T. So yeah, the micro T, we're going to be running these as well. Starting out, we're going to run them together unless we have like a lot of people show up, right, with both. Then we'll break it out. But starting out, depending on turnout, we're going to run them together. They should be running about the same laps. I'm not entirely certain. I don't have one of these. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. But yeah, we're going to run these together. Um, and again, we're going to use that Kyosho Easy Lap. It's not Kyosho, but it's the Easy Lap transponder. Um, and I think that about covers it for the Mini Z and the off-road stuff. Now, we have talked about doing oval, and that is definitely we want to do oval. I just I don't really know much about oval, so I'm gonna let Paul and Dan Cornelius kind of address that. The only thing I know is For the oval cars, they are building, it's called the Hack Fab kit, I think. Yeah, yeah. For the minis, the mini T and the mini B, not the micro, but the minis. And that's what this Hack Fab kit is made for. So these are a little bit bigger, um, and you have to do it with uh, the mini B and the mini T chassis rather than the micros. Uh, they're not like giant. I think these are 1/18 scale cars, if I remember right. But yeah, this is the one that I know Paul had mentioned that he wants to run. So if this is something you're interested in, I'll let Paul kind of take care of this because yeah, guys, I don't really know anything about these cars or like how to set them up or really anything. But what I do know is we are going to try and design a oval into the track so we can run oval as well. Do not use your MyLapse transponder. It won't work on Easy Labs. If you're going to run one of these, again, get the Easy Labs transponder. Um, but I think that about covers it, guys. I'm going to leave links to everything that I've covered in this video. That way, you guys can like find stuff. And just to reiterate, I think everybody should probably, if you're new to the 128 scale stuff and Mini Z, everybody should just start with a box stock, right? Get a box stock Mini Z and some tires and a transponder. You're looking at, you know, 250 bucks maybe to get running, and they're a ton of fun, guys. Like once you get in there and race them, you'll see they are an absolute blast. But that's gonna be it. I will kill this thing and get some links posted.